So, gun to your head. An assailant, an intruder, an attacker has placed you in a room. You, them, and a treadmill. Gun to your head. And they tell you, if you don't run on this treadmill for 24 hours, your wife, your daughter, your son, your mother, your father, your auntie, your grandma, your nephew, your niece, your goddaughter, your godson, your granddaughter, your friend, they die. You running? That's what I thought. You running on that treadmill. Why? And it's not because your life is at risk. That's not the why. It's because someone else's life is on the line. Now, I don't care if you're fat, you run it. I don't care if you have asthma, you run it. I don't care if you're uncoordinated with both feet, you're running. I don't care if you're terminally ill, you're running. I don't even care if you ain't got no legs, you running. Why? Because you're not running for you. You're running for somebody else. Your why is the most powerful force in your life. Your why is the reason why you do what you do, why you don't do the things you don't do. Your why is the strongest conviction you have. And could it be that the life you have now is simply because you have not discovered your why? Now, I love how Darius Daniels says, he says, some people think they don't have the right discipline, when the truth is they don't have the right why. It's the why that evokes the discipline. It's the why that conjures up the power to be disciplined. It's the why that sets good apart from great. Why do you do what you do? Why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you get out of bed? Why should anyone care? Why do you care? Why don't you care? Why? It's the most powerful question that's been asked. Why? And once you discover your why, it influences. As a matter of fact, it makes life and the decisions of life so much easier to come by, so much easier to make, because now you know based on your why what you will not do and what you will do. Based on your why, you know who you will marry and who you will not marry. Based on your why, you will know what job to take and what job not to take. And here's what's crazy. I've interviewed over 100 different men in their 20s, from the ages of 20 to 29. And I have found out that the main desire, the main thing that men in their 20s want, you can guess it. Money. It's money. And I ain't mad at it. You see me? Your boy right there. I want money. I need money. But here's the crazy part. We think we make the choices we make because of the money or for money. But money isn't your why. See, what's money? Money's just paper. That's all money is. Money is paper with old, dead white men on it. Money is just paper with ink that has different writings on it. Money is just paper. So what you desire is not the money. What you want is not the paper. What you want is not dead presidents. That's not what you want. You don't want money. You want what money can give. That's why you want the money. Money is a result of a much deeper desire. In other words, you don't want money for the sake of just having the money. You want money for what money provides. Why do you want money? Freedom? Why do you want money? Travel? Why do you want money? Stability? Why do you want money? Status? Why do you want money? Fame? Why do you want money? Power? Why do you want money? Sex? Why do you want? See, you don't want the money. You want what the money can give you. And do you realize that what money can give me may not be the same thing that money can give you, because your why is different than my why. So your motivation to get money is probably very different than my motivation to get money, because our whys are different. But if you don't know your why, you could be hunting and chasing down money in all the wrong things, in all the wrong ways. But what if you did know your why? What if you could discover your why? What if you could clearly articulate, this is my why? Then the money comes easily right after that. So, why? The most powerful question in the universe. And the question why forces us to put words to our emotions. And for a lot of us men in our 20s, we suck at putting words to our emotions. So this is the whole point of today's episode. I want to help you discover your why, not create it. Discover it. It's already in you. We just have to find a way to get that thing out of you. Because once you discover your why, you automatically have a high level of clarity that will illuminate what you should be doing and even how you should be going about it. So let me give an example, right? Let's say there's a company that sells paper. What is the why of paper? What if a company made a presentation and said, well, we're selling paper and we're selling paper at this price, at this amount, and we have the best paper on the market? Would you be convinced to buy paper from that company? Probably, but probably not. But here's a much better why. Since the beginning of time, ideas have been birthed out of humanity. And there are necessary ways to write down those ideas, to be able to communicate those ideas one to another, to be able to dream and put those dreams on something tangible. That's why we have created this company called paper. That's why we need paper, in order to help humanity put down the greatest ideas in their minds onto something visible and tangible that they can share with the rest of the world. That's a much better why. That's a much stronger why. That's a much more convicting why. And once you understand your why, you'll be able to clearly articulate what makes you feel fulfilled and better understand what drives your behavior when you are at your natural best. Does that make sense so far? So when you can do that, you'll have a point of reference for everything you're going to do moving forward. You'll be able to make more intentional choices for your business, for your career, and for your life. You'll be able to inspire others to buy from you, work with you, be married to you, be in relationship with you. From now on, what I want to encourage you is start with your why. So let's begin. What is a why? Well, I'm using why as an acronym for what's hidden in you. That's the definition of the why. What's hidden in you? There's something that's hidden in you that we have to pull that joker out of you. I like how Simon Sinek says, at its core, the why is an origin story. You know the origin story of Batman? Batman, who is Bruce Wayne. Origin story is that his mother and father leave a venue. His father decides to walk down a dark and sinister alley as a shortcut to the way home. And a burglar, a thief, a robber meets them and confronts them. And the burglar shoots Bruce's father and mother, steals the pearls from his mother's neck and the belongings of the parents, and leaves Bruce Wayne alone. And Bruce Wayne becomes an orphan in the city of Gotham. That's the origin story of Bruce Wayne. That's what led him to become Batman. You have an origin story, and your origin story is compiled of multiple core stories that make you you. Things that happened to you, things that happened for you. Your happy stories and your sad stories. Your most exciting stories and your most depressing stories. All these stories, the stories that you automatically think of first, the things that have impacted you the most in your life, those are your core stories. And the total sum of all these experiences that we've had growing up, the lessons we learned, the teachers we had, and the things we did, all these things make up your why. So, in order to help your companion discover your why, which, by the way, this process of discovering your why, you don't necessarily do it alone. It's helpful when you do it with somebody else, because that you need an outside perspective looking and listening to your stories and helping you connect the dots and lining up the different themes that to you seem scattered and separate, but to your companion with a listening ear, they see it and begin to piece it together like a mosaic. And they begin to help you not only see your why, but help you articulate your why in a way that makes it clear to you and clear to everybody else. See, and your why represents who you are at your natural best. And it's revealed through these specific stories and experiences that have affected your life and shaped who you are. So here's one of the first ways that you can find out your why. It's called the 7-step assessment. I want to give a shout out to my boy, Jeff Green. He put me on game with this, man. It's called the 7-step assessment. And basically, I want you to take this question right now, right where you are. Take this question and I want you to write it down. The question is, why do I want to become successful? Answer that question. Why do I want to become successful? And write it down honestly. Why do I want to become successful? When you answer that question with your response, I want you to now question your response with this question. Why? Why do you want to become successful? Because I want to have stability in my life. Why? Answer that second question with your next response. Why do you want to become successful? Well, I want to have stability in my life. Why? Well, I want to have stability in my life because X, Y, and Z. Then you're going to ask the next question to that second response. Why is that important to you? Why is it important for you that X, Y, and Z, which was your previous response? You're going to respond to that second question. That's going to be your third response. You're going to do the same process 7 times. I believe in the Bible, and I believe that 7 is the number of completion. God created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and on the 7th day, he rested. He completed his work. I believe that the number 7 represents completion, fullness, totality. I want you to ask yourself that question 7 times. And I promise you, by the 3rd time, you're going to get stuck. Because you've never gone that deep within yourself. What's good, Brody? Listen, man, I appreciate you hanging, kicking it with Max, and relaxing with me in this episode. Man, do me a favor. If you're enjoying this kind of content, man, go ahead and like, subscribe. But more importantly, man, I need you to share this, man. I need you to go ahead and get the word out to other men in their 20s so they can dominate their 20s as well. Now, if you're enjoying it so far, I want to do one thing for you, man. I believe that YouTube is a great place for information, but I want to take you from information to implementation. So watch this. The first 10 people to send me a a personalized DM on Instagram with this phrase, I need my why. That's the phrase, I need my why. If you send me that phrase on Instagram, I will go ahead and discount the value to you at 10%, all right? I want to put you on game. I want you to help you dominate in your 20s. I want you to win in the things that matter. So you send me that DM and I got you, bro, all right? Now let's go ahead and get back to the conversation. I want you to go deeper than you've ever gone. Deeper than you've ever been. I want you to pull that thing out of you. Because there's a level of work that you got to put in. So that when the companion comes alongside you, a friend, a mentor, a coach who can help you pull out and frame and articulate and define your why into a beautiful, concise statement, but you got to put in the work first. I want you to go deep. That's why it's called 7-layer deep assessment. Ask yourself the question, why 7 times. You're going to find that why by the 7th, and it's going to be eye-popping and jaw-dropping. It's going to make so much sense to you. I love how Simon Sinek says in his book, at its core, the why is an origin story. It's who you are. Now, the beautiful thing is once you have written down all of your responses, this is how I want you to frame your why statement, all right? This is the final statement, drafted as to blank so that blank. So I give you mine. When I did the 7-layer deep assessment, this was my why. I don't want anyone to die and they not experience and enjoy their happiest and highest potential. That's what wakes me up in the morning. That's what makes me sit here and film YouTube videos and make content. That's what brings me alive. That's what makes me alive. That's bad grammar, but good gospel. That's what makes me want to serve my wife. That's what makes me want to help my mom accomplish her dreams. That's what makes me want to be a public speaker and a coach. That's what makes me do the things I do, because I don't want anyone to die and they not experience and enjoy their happiest and highest potential. But even the way that I say that, it comes from somewhere. So my final statement, my final draft, the final way I say my why, to help others experience and enjoy their highest potential so that they die living a fulfilled life. To blank so that blank. It's the easiest way to ensure that your statement is simple, actionable, and focused on how you positively affect other people. Your why is born from your past experiences. It's the total sum of lessons you learned, the experiences that you've had, the values you've adopted while growing up. Now remember, the why is not who you aspire to be. It's who you truly are. And the stories are tangible proof of who you truly are. And that's why in this process, not only do I want to invite you to take that 7-layer deep assessment, but this is why you need a companion, specifically a listening ear, a friend, a mentor, a coach, someone to say, hey, listen, I just need you to sit with me. Help me unravel. Help me get this thing out. Help me put the pieces of the puzzle together. Help me find my why. Because as a man in his 20s, you find your why, literally nothing will be unstoppable for you. Because the level of conviction that you will have in order to produce the desired outcome that you want in your life, your why will keep you going on the days when your body don't feel like going on. So I love how Simon Sinek says, once again, man, the beautiful thing about the why is that the why is the force to enact positive change so that there is less uncertainty and insecurity in the world. There's an Australian neurologist and psychologist by the name of Ossian Frank that he believes that the meaning of life came from 3 possible sources: purposeful work, love, and finding courage in the face of adversity. That sounds a lot like his why. Purposeful work. What is work? It's what you do in the service of others. What is love if love is not how you show kindness and affection and show how much you care for others? What is finding courage in the face of adversity if not you standing up for those who are less fortunate than you? That sounds a whole lot like a why. So let me share with you how this why process looks like with my own life. One of the core memories of my life is the 9th grade. I had just made the basketball team, small school that I went to in Tampa, Florida, man. And I swore on my life. You can ask anybody who knows me from Tampa. I swore on my life I was going to make it to the league. I was going to be in the NBA. You couldn't tell me nothing. And my favorite basketball player was Allen Iverson. I've always been a short guy. And so I was like, if Allen Iverson can do it, I can make it to the league. He was the inspiration for all short people who love basketball. If he can make it to the league, I can make it to the league. And I swore basketball was in my future. Here's the problem. I didn't own any basketball shoes. I come from an immigrant home. Mom is an immigrant, came into this country like every immigrant trying to chase the American dream, but my father was not in the picture. So I grew up in a single parent home, just me and my mom. That's it. No other family around. We grew up poor. It was rough. Like most people, we grew up financially insecure. You know the deal. But I had it in my mind. I'm going to make it to the league. Here's the problem though. I didn't own basketball shoes. Couldn't afford it. And I would beg my mom, I need basketball shoes. And my mom would tell me the same thing over and over again. Isaí, no tengo el dinero ahora. In other words, I don't have money for basketball shoes. So it is now the first game of the year. It's the morning of, we're getting ready, me and my mom, we have breakfast, we come out. It's a brisk day in Florida. It probably had just rained. The sun wasn't out, but I was like, man, you feel me? It's game time. And I was listening to It's the Heart of a Champion on replay, on loop, baby. I was like, we gonna dominate this game. Get us out of the car, and my mom hands me this orange box with a swoosh sign on the top. Nike swoosh sign. And I got the box. I opened that sucker up, and lo and behold, some all black high top basketball shoes. I had told my mom I need some D Rose ones. I don't know if you remember those. They came from Adidas. I need some D Rose ones from Adidas. She couldn't afford it, but I didn't care. I had some basketball shoes. My NBA dreams were about to become a reality. Bruh, soon as school was over, I ditched my backpack. I don't remember where I threw it. And if you remember, if you're anything like me, I would wear my basketball clothes underneath my school clothes. So that as soon as school got out, I would take off my school gear and I'd be in my basketball gear. Anybody can relate to me? That's how I grew up, okay? So as soon as school got out, ditched my backpack, took off my school clothes. I got on my basketball clothes. I went to the gym, just started putting up shots all day long until an hour before game time. Went to the locker room, got my jersey, and I started lacing up my new shoes. Woo, boy! New shoes, new shoes, new shoes. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was like, ooh, wait. I'm like Michael Jordan. I'm about to come in this game, about to kill it. Game time, baby. We run out the locker room. We come into the gym. The place is packed. It wasn't that big of a gym, but the place is packed and people are shouting and hooting and hollering. And in the corner, I see in the stands, my mom is up, shouting and hollering as me and the rest of the team is coming out. And that was the first and last time my mom ever went to a game. Tip off went off. Somehow, some way, I got the ball. Got to the 3-point line. In the corner. Scoosh. Made the first shot of the game. The first three-pointer of my career. I think somewhere down the game, I got fouled. Went up, hit my 2 free throws. Boom. We won the game. I dropped 5 points in that game. I don't care. You couldn't tell me nothing. I'm like, I'm on my way. I'm on my way to be the greatest of all time. Man, we got in the car, and I'm just like, Ma, did you see this, Ma? Did you see this pick, Ma? Did you see? I'm breaking down everything basketball to my mom, and my mom is just smiling on the car ride back home, but she don't say a word. We finally park. We walk up the stairs of our 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in Tampa, Florida. And when we get to the door, my mom gives me the keys and she says, can you open the door for me? I said, cool. Open the first lock, open the second lock, turn the key knob, and open the door for my mom to walk in. And my mom walks straight through, but she doesn't turn on the light switch that is on the right-hand side. I looked at her and I said, why would you not turn it on? You're right there. Now, anyways, I walked in and I said, well, hey, she's not going to turn it on. I'm going to turn it on. Click. Nothing. I turned it off. Click. Nothing. I turned it off. Click. Nothing. Why aren't the lights working in the house? And then the light switch went off in my head. Basketball shoes. My mom decided that she was going to use the money for the electricity to pay for my basketball shoes. And when this realization hit me, my mom spoke up and said, Max, go get the candles in the house. My mom decided to spend what little money she had, and instead of paying the electric bill, she decided I'm going to use this money to pay for my son's basketball shoes. Why? So that my son can experience and enjoy his happiest and highest potential. My basketball career was very short-lived. The potential of my basketball career was very small. And yet, I got to experience and enjoy my happiest and highest potential in basketball because my mom gave me everything. So that before I died, I would have that core memory. I would have that moment. I would have that experience. That's where my why came from. Because I grew up in a place where I saw people die. I now see people die often, very often. And I always wonder to myself, did they get to experience and enjoy their happiest and highest potential? I had one of my good friends die right after high school. And I've always wondered to myself, how many other men in their 20s don't even know how close they are to death, possibly. And they're not living their lives in a way where they can experience and enjoy their happiest and highest potential. That's why I'm on this mission. Because whether you're 20 or 29, I don't want you to die and you not experience your happiest and highest potential. That's why I want you to find your why. That's why I want you to dominate your 20s. That's my why. I want you to find your why. And when you find your why, do me a favor, put it down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I would love to see how you came up with your why. I want to see how your why affects and influences every major decision of your life. I want to see how your why launches you to the next level of your life. Man, I appreciate you hanging out with me today, bro. And I'm going to see you next time right here on The Playbook.